Hello everyone, welcome back to Marian's World. I've got a little bit of a different video for you today with some woodwork. Very simple woodwork. I hope you enjoy it. I'll show you at the end what I'm going to be using the thing I'm making for. I'm hoping you can see what I'm doing today. I'm outside in my courtyard and I've just gone and cut myself a little piece of branch off a dead bit of willow that's been totally dried out. It's just in my what I call my mini beast pile. I have a pile of wood that I just let to dry out. Anyway, I've cut a couple of pieces off that and I've actually split it with my axe, so I've now got 4 pieces. And what I'm attempting to do today is make myself a wooden needle. So I actually do Nalbinding, which is a properly medieval type of a craft. It's one of the oldest fibre crafts that you can do. And part of it is that you usually use a beautiful big needle with a big eye. And you can buy plastic ones, you can buy wooden ones that people have made. But it's quite a simple carving project that I can make my own. It's nice to have different sizes. Sometimes they can have a curve and sometimes they don't. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do today. And I have a set of carving tools because I do carve spoons as well. So I've got these types of things, and they're all left-handed ones because I'm left-handed. So if they look a bit odd or their cutting edge is on a different side than you think, it's because I'm left-handed using them. I do have a bigger knife here, a longer knife, but at the minute I feel as if this little short one is probably good enough. And so now that I've split this piece of willow down, I think I can make a really nice needle out of here. So I'm going to keep my thumb out the way unless it's pushing, but I'm not going to put any of my fingers in front. And I've got my leather, piece of old leather off a leather chair that I cut up, and I am going to use that to protect my knee and my clothes. And I'm just going to take it easy by taking off little slivers of wood, and immediately I just need to get the bark off before I start shaping anything. I don't mind the bit of curve, that's sometimes quite nice. I'll turn it around, take the bark off this way. You can see how sharp my knife is. And this wood's been drying out for, well, definitely more than a year it's been on my little pile. It's a really satisfying thing to do, to then work with a needle that you've made yourself. Okay, so the bark's off all the way around. That's just the shape of it. It's just the way it's split, and it's got quite a nice wavy shape. I might be able to keep that or not. But at the minute I'm just going to carry on thinning it out because a Nalbinding needle really is quite flat. It's not a rounded needle, so I just need to go and keep thinning it down both sides. Thin some of this down. As soon as you get that the grain, you're really working with the grain, it actually gets easier to push through. And I'm not trying to take off a huge amount. Some of these are just really thin little slivers. Don't actually need it very pointy, but I'll round that off with the sandpaper when I'm sanding it. So I'm not going to work on that anymore, because I want my needle to be sort of about the length of my finger in the end, so I'm allowing myself enough to take the point off there and put an eye in it. I'm just going to go back and work on this top bit here. And they have quite big eyes, these needles, because you're usually working with thickish wool and sometimes just wool roving that you can splice together. Should actually make the eye first. I think I'm going to start making the eye about here. I'm going to just use the leather there as well, and I'm going to start and just cut lots of little strokes. You can see I'm using my knife right down at the point because I need good control. I don't want this knife to be splitting anywhere. Sort of slipping, I mean. I don't want the knife to be slipping. I've already got a deep little groove. Keep a check to see when my point goes through, because as soon as my point goes through I can start working it from the other side as well. I can feel I'm quite deep at the moment. Still, keep feeling I'm nearly there. Just going to turn the knife round to see if I can drill through. In fact, look, the point's coming through. So I really do have an eye through my needle already. And I'm going to start and go in from this side, and I'll just open the hole up. Keep clearing the hole out so I can see what I'm doing. Now I just need to keep lengthening that. So I want a long hole rather than a round hole. Make sure I'm protected. Little sliver that way. I'm actually pushing my knife forward so it's cutting into the hole. And then a little sliver comes out. Pushing forward, and then out comes a little triangle. I can file in, because what I need at the end is the smoothest, silkiest needle that's not going to snag on the wool. Not going to give me splinters either when I'm using it. This is looking quite good now. I think I'm happy to work on the rest of the shape of the needle now that I've got that decent hole through. I'm going to shape in just by pressing into my leather and taking tiny slivers off. It's just more wrist than strength, and working with the wood. It's like a pea, like a pea pod shape, but I don't want that bit on there. I'm going to start and refine the shape, just thin it down here a bit more. Starting to feel like it's getting there. I'm just now going to thin the actual size of it here. I don't want it to be so thick. I'm just going to be careful because I do not want to break the eye. Bit of thickness off here, I think. I'm sort of going upwards like that so I don't dig into the wood and ruin what I've already done. Although this is literally just taking me about 10 minutes so far. It's not the end of the world if you ruin it. Just means you've got another enjoyable 10 minutes of woodwork to do. Finished my needle to about what I can do. I'm going to get my set of needle files. They're really good for sanding and grinding the wood inside the hole. So I can work these in and out to make this hole smooth on the inside. But also I can use them to sort of sand down to make the hole longer, which is what I would really like. And what I'll do is, when I come to do the project that I've got in mind for using this needle for, then I will do another video of showing you how it's done, because it's a super interesting technique. I'm going to start with my sandpaper And I'll just put my needle files out of the way. So this is my sandpaper. First thing I'm going to do is get this point off and make it a nice rounded needle end. I've got a nice piece going there. So lovely to work with wood. And now I'm going to try and smooth out all of the marks of the penknife. It's starting to feel really nice. Now it gets to a point where you're not sure that you want to risk destroying your needle. I'm just going to thin it here. Actually, I'm really happy. It's a nice shape. Feels really nice in my hand. Well, here they are finished. I've got 2 wooden needles. They both feel nice. This one was originally going to be the longer one, but in my effort to get the point really thin down, I actually ended up shortening it because I made the point too thin and it wasn't strong enough. So if you're handy with a little carving knife and a bit of fallen wood, or like I had a bit of dead wood off my wood pile, which I know has come off my willow tree, you can make your own wooden needles to use in Nalbinding, which is what these are for. And I love them. This one's got a lovely shape. They've both got a lovely shape. I like the bend in this one. I hope you like that slightly different craft from me, and my needles are really lovely, but I thought I'd show you what I will be using them for. This is my Nalbinding bag, and I made this to carry my phone and my little wallet because I don't carry a handbag about very much. And I'll show you up close. It's not like, people quite often think it's crochet, but it isn't crochet, and it's not very stretchy. It's very firm, and this was made in one go. There's no seams on it at all, so you start at the bottom and then it's done in a spiral, and you can see from there how the spiral has gone round when I've put the different colours in. And this is the yarn I made this in, which is quite a thick, like a woven yarn. And it's just perfect for me to carry it over my shoulders, and I've been wanting to make another one for ages, so that's why I made the needles, because I've got a nice selection of yarns to be making. So I've got the leftover yarn from that one, but I've also got these lovely colours here, pink and like a dark rose pink. I've got a really dark brown, and I've got this lovely one here which is chunky woven, called Retreat, from West Yorkshire Spinners. So I'm either going to be making a new bag, and I don't know whether sentimentally I can let go of this one because I love this one so much. But also what I would like to make is just, instead of a neck warmer, like a neck collar, and I thought Nalbinding would be a really, really good way of doing it. So coming up, maybe over the autumn, will be I'll show how to do Nalbinding, and I'll be making myself either a bag or a collar, or most likely both things. So it'll be nice to show you how to do a different craft. Anyway, I hope you pressed the like button if you've enjoyed that, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more unusual things. Bye everyone, happy crafting, see you later.